Round one, fight.
Hello, and welcome to a debate on Marvel and DC Comics. These two franchises have been competing with each other since the early 90s. I spoke to some fans and wanted to get their opinion on which franchise they think is better, Marvel or DC. In the early 90s, Marvel and DC Comics did a comic book which pitted both sets of characters against each other to settle who was the greater comic book franchise. Marvel first arrived in 1939 as Atlas Comics. The first superhero comic book was the Fantastic Four, while DC arrived in 1934 and introduced Batman in the Detective Comics.
What movies do you prefer, Marvel movies or DC comic movies?
I prefer the Marvel movies.
And why do you prefer these?
We have a Hulk.
Well, first of all, there's more often Marvel movies, and also I think the time that they have, they fit everything into the movies quite well.
Favorite DC movie is the Dark Knight series. I really like them. I think Christopher Nolan has done really well with them. He's basically made Batman into a realistic person.
With the films, I think Marvel have got more frequent films, and I enjoyed watching the Avengers, but the Batman trilogy from DC is by far better just because there's so much more of a story to it.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
If I pull that off, will you die?
It would be extremely painful.
You're a big guy.
For you.
Probably the first Iron Man film. The way it was put together, and obviously the kind of CG they got in there and its writing, I just thought it was a really solid film.
Who is your favourite Marvel or DC character?
I've got a split between three. I like Wolverine, Thor, and Iron Man.
Why do you like these characters?
I like Wolverine because he's really funny. He just he takes the mick out of the enemy. He can't die by conventional means of death, and also, although he wasn't born with metal claws, now he's got them in. They just look really cool.
It's funny how good innocent people tend to die around you.
Favorite Marvel character is Deadpool. By far, one of the coolest characters ever. He's known as the Merc with a Mouth. He talks, he's funny, he's actually schizophrenically insane, another reason why I love him. And also, one of the greatest things about the character is that he knows he's in a comic book. He breaks the fourth wall.
Hey internets, we got a video for you to see.
My favourite DC character is Harley Quinn. For Marvel, I have a Marvel character, and that's gotta be Loki.
And why do you like these characters?
Harley Quinn because she was essentially the Joker's psychiatrist, and because she understood him and his ways, she changed to match that because she fell in love with him.
That's a real gasser, huh, Mr. J?
Loki, he's the god of mischief. I think he's misunderstood, and I think reading into his backstory, it's very interesting.
This was our debate on Marvel and DC. You have heard what our fans think. Which do you think is the better comic book franchise?